Welcome back, everyone, to our second day of Defining 2021 Awards. Today, we'll be honoring students in the documentary category. As a reminder, the Defining 2021 Award recognizes students who made an intentional effort to share their love for video production with those closest to them. Today's presenters are Cable Commissioner Matt Hedges and Jeff Darrow. Commissioner Hedges represents the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Commission, where he is the chairperson. Commissioner Hedges is a Sacramento County local who now represents the San Juan community. He is joined by SEVA teacher Jeff Darrow, the media teacher at John Barrett Middle School, Commissioner Hedges' alma mater. Mr. Darrow and Commissioner Hedges join us from John Barrett's brand new SEVA studio.
Hello everybody, I'm Jeff Darrow. I'm the media and production teacher here at John Barrett Middle School. Welcome to John Barrett. We have a brand new campus here and we're really excited to have all of you join us.
And I'm Matt Hedges. I'm chair of the Sacramento Metropolitan Cable Commission, back at my alma mater. Haven't been here in a very long time, and I'm really excited to be here with you all today. Without further delay, let's present the awards. The K-3 documentary Defining 2021 Award is presented to Z Strong, producer Josiah Zamora of Florence Markofer Elementary School. Josiah created a documentary about his family because they are one of the most important things to him and are always there for him.
Papa has always loved fitness. He started working at the gym when he was 18 years old. He has worked in the fitness industry for 40 years now.
I just love working people out and having people reach their goals, make them feel better about themselves, get stronger and skinnier and work on their weight loss and strength and all that stuff. I just love being with people.
Congratulations, Josiah. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you for presenting me with this award. Very proud of it. Thank you a lot. It means a lot to me. This is it's my first year doing video, and I'm just really excited about this.
Thank you, Josiah. And I see you have your family with you there today. Would they like to say something as well?
Yes.
Hey guys, Josiah's dad. It was just so fun watching him do this project, his documentary. One of the greatest things was he did it on his grandfather, my dad, and just watching him connect with his grandfather, learn about history, and me as his dad, and learning some things about my dad and my own grandparents that I did not know that he got out of them through his documentary. It was just a cool way to bond with our family, and just super proud of him. He worked really hard.
Well said, Josiah, and well said, Dad. Congratulations again to both of you.
Thank you.
Several videos in the 4 through 6 documentary category received Defining 2021 awards. The first 4 through 6 documentary Defining 2021 award is presented to Project Ride, producer Paige Vanderspek of Florence Markofer Elementary School. Paige was inspired to create her video by her sister Sophia. Paige highlighted a project that both her and her sister love and wanted others to know just how special it is.
A lady by the name of Chris McFarland was their adaptive PE teacher at Jesse Baker, and she happened to be a horseback rider. So none of this was built. Our barn wasn't built. This was just a big orchard of olive trees and trash, and they cleaned it up. And after she begged and begged, they let her bring 2 horses, and that's how this all started. So she intended it to be a sort of therapy for them because other kids could ride horses, right? Why couldn't kids with special needs ride horses?
Congratulations, Paige. Is there anything that you would like to say?
Yes, I'd really like to thank my family and especially my sister, Sophia. I love her very much. And thank you for Miss Nolt for teaching me how to create a video from the very start. And thank you to the News crew for supporting us with the supplies. And thank you, Tina and Project Ride, for helping me make this video.
Thank you, Paige. And I see you have someone there with you. Would they like to say a few words as well?
Sure. I'm Paige's dad. Her mom and I are just so proud of her to take part and highlight what her sister does at this special program, and just her taking the initiative to be like, hey, this is something important, especially in the community. So thank you, Paige, for that.
Thank you for sharing, Paige, and thank you for supporting Dad. And great work.
The next video in the 4 through 6 documentary category, honored by the judges with a Defining 2021 award, is One of a Kind, producer Melilla Castaneda of Florence Markofer Elementary School. Melilla chose to involve her mom in her production that highlights students at Jesse Baker that may face additional challenges but still persevere.
The kids are amazing. I am very fortunate to work with amazing staff as well. And the humor that you get from the kids, that's basically why I love doing what I'm doing, because again, there's no dull moment and always keeps you thinking.
Congratulations, Melilla. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
Thank you for choosing my video for the Identifying 2021 award. I'm honored and very happy that my video won. That I won. The video is inspired. I hope that other kids my age can see the video and are inspired to produce more videos and be involved with students with special needs.
Great. And it looks like you have some support there with you, Melilla. Would they like to share something as well?
Yes.
Yes, they would. I am her mom. I am Nicole Castaneda. Our whole family was very proud of her and excited that she received this honor. We love seeing her thrive in subjects that she really enjoys. I have to add that I'm a little jealous because I used to be the tech person in the family, and now she's way above me in this area. We also are very proud that she chose to highlight and bring awareness to special education and students who communicate in a different way than typical people.
Well, thank you, Melilla, and thank you for inspiring others. Great work, and thank you, Mom, for supporting Melilla, and congratulations. Great job.
Thank you.
The final 4 through 6 documentary defining 2021 award is presented to Utah Family History. Producer, Ella Satake of Florence Markofer Elementary School. Ella created her video starring her mom, grandmother, and uncle to document stories that can be shared with future generations.
And Ecker Hill was internationally known for their skeet jumping competitions.
Congratulations, Ella. Would you like to say a few words about your video?
Yes. I'm very happy to be receiving this award. Making this video was a really positive experience for me. Not only did I have the opportunity to learn how to collect information and create a news story, I also learned a lot about early history of skiing around Park City, Utah, and I enjoyed learning about my family's involvement with skiing in Park City, Utah. Thank you to my uncle, my grandma, and my mom for the interviews, and thank you for the award.
Great. And I hear you have someone special with you there today, Ella. Would they like to say something as well?
Yes.
Hi, this is Ella's dad, and I'm just wanting to say how proud I am of her. She really took a liking to her video, and it really showed.
Well said, Dad, and well said, Ella. Thank you very much for both joining us today, and congratulations, and thanks for sharing your story with us.
Thank you.
And now for the 7 through 8 documentary category. There were 4 categories recognized by the judges for the Defining 2021 category. The first video is Palomo Family Soccer. Producer, Aubrey Palomo of Heron School. Aubrey chose to include her sister, brother, mother, and father in her video that highlights her message that if you can stick with something, you can be really good at it.
And for my youngest, he is just driven to attack and score and just excited to be out there and play. And it's fun to just see him so excited about playing soccer.
Congratulations, Aubrey. Is there anything that you'd like to share with us?
Hello, my name is Aubrey. Thank you for the recognition. I chose to do this for my project because my family is very important to me and I often go and cheer for my siblings when they play sports. I hope you can see how much my family means to me and how we support each other.
Great. And it looks like you have someone there with you, Aubrey. Would they like to say something as well?
Hi, I'm her mother, and we really enjoyed working on this project together. She loves to watch her brother and sister play, and it was really entertaining and fun to watch her put this together. So I'm very proud of her.
Well, thank you, Aubrey, and thanks, Mom, for your support. It sounds like you guys have an awesome family and great work on your video. Really proud of you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
The next 7 through 8 documentary defining 2021 award is presented to The Importance of Family. Producer, Izzir Banta of Heron School. Izzir's title says it all. This video is all about teaching younger audiences the importance of family and the great possibilities of what can happen when they come together.
Family is your true companion from the day you were born until the rest of your life.
I think family is important because no matter what's gonna happen, family is gonna be there for you and help you.
My parents had the biggest impact on my life. They taught me to always be responsible and respectful to other people.
Of course, for me, their unconditional love and support.
Congratulations, Izzir. Is there anything that you would like to say about your video?
Yeah, it's really really loving to me because I could connect to my family more easier, and I just love them so much, you know?
Thank you, Izzir. It looks like you have someone there with you. Would they like to say something as well?
Yeah, I'm Izzir's mom. So on that video, we actually have fun, and at least doing that video, he learned more about the importance and something what family can actually impact everybody.
Well, what a great message, and it sounds like your family is a lot of fun. So thank you, Izzir, and thank you, Mom, for supporting him. And congratulations again, Izzir. Great job, bud.
Thank you.
Another 7 through 8 documentary video honored by the judges with the defining 2021 award is Mahony Fishing History. Producer Luke Mahony of Heron School. Luke included his dad and brother as interviewees in his video about one of his family's favorite activities, fishing.
Ocean, and we caught mahi-mahi, which is a beautiful fish, and we caught our limit, and Luke caught a fish that was literally as big as him. It was about 45 pounds. It was so exciting. When it got to the edge of the boat, you had to use a gaff, which is a long hook, to kind of pull it onto the boat. It was a little bloody, but it was just so exciting, and mahi-mahi is tasty.
Congratulations, Luke. Do you have a message that you would like to share with us?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm with my dad, Tom Mahony, and this SEVA project was one of my favorite things I've done this year in digital media class, and it's really just about how my family and I have had great fishing experiences, and how my dad has had great fishing experiences with me, and just how the video explains it all. And I just really love how SEVA I was lucky enough to be included.
Excellent. And it looks like you have some support there with you, Luke. Would they like to share something as well?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Mahony. I'm Luke's dad. It was really interesting and actually really fun to work on this project with Luke. I was being interviewed about my love of fishing growing up, and how I kind of transferred that love to him, evidently, because my son Luke is a freak about fishing. He loves it, and he's really good at it as well.
Well, thank you, Luke, and thank you, Dad, and maybe someday you could show us some secret fishing spots someday down the line. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Thanks. The final 7 through 8 documentary video that received the defining 2021 award is Shashari Kiburi, Art Inspirations. Producer, Asif Kiburi of Heron School. Asif used 2 big inspirations and mentors to highlight how their mother has helped not just their family, but others as well.
And they've all just gravitated towards it. And I think from them too, I've just watching them get inspired and seeing their imaginations come to life, I think for me has really taught me so much about my own work and where I want to go with it. And there's just something exciting about teaching. I mean, I'm that type of person that learns something new and I just immediately want to share it with other people. And so there's a lot of reward in that as well.
Congratulations, Asif. Is there anything that you'd like to say about your video?
My video, the main purpose of the video was really just to highlight, my mom's career and, the way that she's inspired me, my siblings, even other people along the way as she began teaching art, and she's just continued it throughout her life. And I really just wanted to showcase that and show that for like everyone else who watches the video, really.
Congratulations again, Asif. It's really cool that your mom inspired you to make this video, and thank you for sharing.
In the 9 through 12 documentary category, the judges gave the defining 2021 award to My Women producer Dania McKenzie of Inderkum High School. Dania used her passion of creating videos to highlight the amazing women in her life. Dania has always been inspired by her family, and now so are we.
Between church and activities at the school, my mom believed in education, big time education. She wanted her children, because she didn't finish school. She was raised in the country. She was raised in a time, she was raised like, in 1926, where especially a Black woman, education, wasn't pushed necessarily. So,
congratulations, Dania. Is there anything that you'd like to share with us about your video?
I would just like to say thank you for this opportunity, that I'm very just amazed that I was able to do this. I know the women in my family, when I showed them the video, they were all just really surprised by what I could get done. And I mean, I can't really say I'm surprised, because I was just doing what I loved and talking about the women that amaze me every day. Sorry. I was just doing the things that make me happy and talking about people that I'm really inspired by. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Dania. I think you made a lot of women proud about your video, and great job. Congratulations again, and have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Congratulations to everyone who entered videos. Your work is so impressive. And congratulations to the award winners and their families.
I'm so excited to see all of you this year at Awards Night on May 1st. Very excited. Hopefully we can see you all there.
These videos have been very inspiring. Thank you very much, and I'll see you at the Awards Night.
Thank you, Commissioner Hedges and Mr. Darrow, with another great day of videos and student producers. Congratulations, everyone. As a reminder, make sure to stay tuned for the full versions of all of tonight's winners, and join us tomorrow for the School News Defining 2021 Awards.
My papa is Z Strong. What is Z Strong? Let me show you. My papa is my grandpa. He was born on October 10th, 1963 in the Philippines. He moved to America when he was 7 years old.
We moved to America, me, my brother, my sister, my mom, in 1970 was when we flew in from the Philippines. My dad came in a year earlier, before 1969, to find a place for us to live.
He's a good child and very respectful, and he was friendly, and he's really very dedicated also to his studies, and he was just a great kid.
My papa has always loved fitness. He started working at the gym when he was 18 years old. He has worked in the fitness industry for 40 years now.
I just love working people out and having people reach their goals, make them feel better about themselves, get stronger and skinnier, and work on their weight loss and strength and all that stuff. I just love being with people.
My papa competed in bodybuilding and won first place 2 times. He won his first competition at age 35 and his second at age 50. My papa has always been healthy, but on August 6, 2017, he had a stroke while training one of his clients. When my papa was in the hospital for his stroke, they found that he had kidney cancer. He showed no signs of cancer, and if it hadn't been for his stroke, the doctor said it was likely that he would have died of cancer. So, what does it mean to be Z strong?
You know, it's the philosophy of family, right? That you can get through anything with your family. So, sorry, I was just thinking about what we went through with your papa. And that was a lot. So, yeah, so not only his disposition, but it was the family coming together to ensure that he got better. Or anyone, you know, if anyone is sick or needs help, that kind of thing. So, and just being optimistic, that's part of being strong, not only healthy, but outlook in life, optimism, and prayer, like Mama says. So.
Now my papa is almost fully recovered and back to the gym, helping people to be healthy.
So when Papa got back to training, I was really happy. And it wasn't that I was just happy for myself, I was really happy for Papa, because for Papa, being in the gym is probably his favorite thing. It's one of my favorite things too. And I know that he really likes helping people and he really likes being in there. And so I was just very happy for him that he was able to do the things that he enjoys again, and that he was able to help people kind of change their lives and be healthier.
Now I get to train with my papa and learn more about what it means to be Z strong.
Paige, and I'm at the Project Ride barn, and they're just getting ready for the annual crab feed. And we're going to go talk to the director, Tina, and learn about some of it. Let's get it.
This girl has been in our barn literally since she was in a baby carrier. She might have been 2 weeks old, a week old, 2 weeks old when she first entered our barn. And she might not remember that, but we remember it. And Paige has been here with us ever since. So helping out and being our #1 favorite pasta tester at every fundraiser. Right now they're having pasta for breakfast, right? Yeah. She's the #1 fan. And we're just happy to know her, and we're hoping that this girl stays with us forever and ends up on our board of directors like her daddy.
Yes.
So that's my wish for this one. Yes. So if you have some questions, you can ask me.
Okay, so how many horses do you actually have?
We have 14.
Okay.
And a mule. We don't want to forget July, right? Julie's got big old ears, and the kids love her. She's always showing them off. So we have 14 horses that are older horses. All of them are retired. The horses are old. They have a week on and a week off. And they are all from our community, donated by our community, or in lease loan situations through our community. So it's kind of nice because all of their get up and go is mostly gone, and that suits our riders just fine, because all of our riders are what?
Special?
Special. All of our riders are special and challenged by a disability or a special need of some sort, right? And we don't ride anybody who doesn't have a challenge. That's what we're all about at Project Ride. Right?
Yes. I have so many saddles in there.
So we keep a lot of different saddles because we have a lot of different size riders. We carry both English and Western riders, and both disciplines we like to teach them both. That, and a lot of times we'll have 3 or 4 riders going at the same time. So not only would one person can go at a time, many lessons have multiple riders in them. So, and we have to fit everybody. So that's why we have so many beautiful saddles.
How did this get started?
How did this program get started?
Yes.
This program got started because there was an adaptive PE teacher next door at Jesse Baker School, which was the first all special needs school, public school in the state of California. So you know how your school has a group of special needs kids that are in special classrooms?
Yes.
This school is all special needs. They don't have any typically developing kids. Everyone at that school has a special need, and it's a public school. So it was opened in 1969 by a lady named Jessie Baker, who had a son who was challenged, and she wanted him to have the best schooling, just like she did for other kids. So in the course of all that, a lady by the name of Chris McFarland was their adaptive PE teacher at Jessie Baker, and she happened to be a horseback rider. So none of this was built. Our barn wasn't built. This was just a big orchard of olive trees and trash. And they cleaned it up. And after she begged and begged, they let her bring 2 horses, and that's how this all started. So she intended it to be a sort of therapy for them because other kids could ride horses, right? Why couldn't kids with special needs ride horses? And it turned out they really can, right? Yes. Yeah, and they can ride very well. So it was hard to get started, but she pushed and pushed and pushed because it was her passion to see other kids that didn't have things so easily physically or cognitively be able to get up there and ride. And that's how this whole thing started. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger.
And bigger until it was a barn.
Until it became a barn. And now we ride over 600 kids with challenges.
How did you get to where you are now?
I got to where I am right now because I fell in love with the kids. So I was working for a huge computer company called Packard Bell, and I was a facilities manager for them. And I had about that much horse experience from when I was your age, and when I didn't care if I fell off. And I came out here because I wanted to volunteer because I couldn't believe that they were putting challenged kids on the back of an unpredictable animal. Who would do that, right? I'm like, that's crazy. I'm gonna go out there and find out what that's about. So I volunteered. And the first week that I volunteered, I met a girl by the name of Tara. And the next week when I came back for my same shift, she was also riding at the same time. And she came flying over to me and she wrapped her arms around my waist and she said, "Oh, I missed you so much." And I said, "Tara, I just saw you last week." And she said, "I know, but I just love you." And that was it for me. So that, and just watching the connection that develops with a rider and a horse, which I know you know because of your sister riding here for years and years. Sophia became connected right away through her eyes and through the smell of the horse and the feel of the horse. And we actually have a pretty cool picture of your sister up above that.
Yes, and we also have one in our house as well.
Yes, yeah, of your sister. So you kind of know that what it means because like the animals are warm and they have a smell to them. The barn has a smell to it, and our riders get connected to that. So it's all kinds of sensory stuff like touch, like sight, like smell, like warmth and hearing, most certainly hearing, yes. So, because some of our riders can't see, right? So their hearing is really, refined. And sometimes it's the other way, they can see but they can't hear. So their vision might be really refined. And that's how horses are. They can hear over a mile away, they can smell over a mile away. So it's a lot of similarities. So, but I got involved because once I saw how beneficial it was to the kids to be on the horses and that it wasn't scary, and it was really, really safe because of the way we operate our center, then I was fine with it. And then I just stayed and stayed because I loved it so much, and 20 years have passed. I've been here for 20 years.
What's your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part of my job is listening to the kids' laughter when they're on horseback.
It's just so much fun, you guys.
So I can hear them all the way from my office, and it just lights up the barn, and it's a joyous, beautiful place to be. So the kids don't really want a lot, they just need a little bit of our time and a little bit of a leg up in this life, and it's fun to be able to help. So that's why.
Okay, so what's going on right here? I see and smell lots of bread and crab.
And shrimp and
lemons.
Yes, so this is a fundraiser weekend. Project Ride does all of our fundraisers in-house, so we don't ever leave the property. We don't ever rent another venue. We do everything the hard way here. So this weekend is our annual crab and shrimp feed, and this helps raise money all year round for the staff that doesn't teach lessons, so our administrative staff, like myself, like our volunteer coordinators, like our data entry person and our office manager. So the way we raise funds for them to pay them to come in and help us administer the program is by doing in-house fundraisers. So this is one of 3. We do a steak dinner in this spring in April, and we do a spaghetti feed, which is Paige's favorite event in the fall, and any leftover spaghetti goes to the Vanderspek house.
Yes.
So that's what today is all about. Lots and lots of people coming through our drive-through line because we can't do it in person again this year. So we're setting ourselves up, and we have a long afternoon ahead of us, and a lot of great supporters coming by to pick up some seafood, some sourdough rolls, pasta salad, cookies, right?
Yes.
Any cookies might go home with Paige too.
Yes.
Could happen.
How has the pandemic affected Project Ride and the feeds and all that?
Well, the feeds, of course, are smaller. We can't have them in person, and so since April of 2020, we have been drive-through for every event. So, of course, our income has dropped from our fundraisers. We weren't making as much. We're not making as much as we need to make, for sure. But it's a good thing that we saved well, because we're going to be okay. But it's definitely affected us, and of course, it's left our program 2 or 3 times having to close completely down. The clients that we serve are our riders that we serve, because they're all challenged. A lot of them are more medically fragile than you and I and your mom are. You know, they don't do as well when they get sick as we do, and it's harder for them to fight things off. So we've had to be extra cautious with that, and sanitizing reins and sanitizing their saddles when they can ride, and being really super careful. So it's also dropped our ridership down because we can only ride one student at a time to protect each other. So that, and our riders who are more heavily challenged or have a more difficult time that have to be picked up and put on the horse, we're not doing that right now. They're in a later phase because it's just not safe for us to be handling them that close and breathing on them or next to them. So we have to wait until the virus is gone before we can ride those more fragile riders. So, and that's very hard for us because they're at home and they need this therapy to keep their core muscle strength built, their large muscles built, their fine motor skills working the way they're supposed to, and socialization. I mean, didn't you miss your friends when you were out of school? Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, that they're all home and they haven't been able to get out as much like you have. So it's just been really hard, and we worry about them, and because we care about them a lot. So we can't wait until we're back in action. So this is Cuervo. And next door to him is Despy. I gotta show you something that's kind of funny. Despy has his winter coat, and he looks like he's getting a unicorn horn. Paige is super soft. Isn't that cute? Yeah. So Despy's one of our, I think Despy's 25 or so. Oh, behave yourself. And he's looking for a treat right now. But we use mostly really old horses, like I said, and he's comes from somebody in the community, and he's just a good, steady Eddie, good boy all the time, even though right now he's smelling my hands because they smell like cookies and lemons. And he thinks I've got something for him, which I don't. So, but a very good boy, and we can count on him to always be gentle and careful with our riders.
If they're not here in the barn, then where do they go?
So our horses, because horses like to be out in pasture, that's how they're meant to be grazing animals, or made to be grazing animals. So we lease a big ranch, 52 acres of a ranch in Heron, and it's kind of out by Rancho Seco. And when the horses are not here in program, that's where they go to rest. So they get to go graze, be with their friends, be out in the open fresh air, and they love going home to the ranch. And then they have a week off and a week on. A week off and a week on, so that they're in their retirement, they don't have to work as hard. And then that way we have happy horses and they have a great life.
Yes. For letting me on this tour. It was great. And I hope one day that I can be on the board just like my dad and keep this still going.
Yes.
And hang out the horses still.
I hope so. I hope so too. That's my wish, Paige.
Yes.
Yes. You can do it.
Yeah. I'm 10 years old, and it's my sister, the star of the show, and she's 13 years old. Sophia's been riding at Project Ride since 3 years old, which is 10 years ago, and I was just born. All right, so she rides regular horses, and she also rides this mechanical horse, which is super cool. I've been on it multiple times, and it is really cool. It's like a VR sort of thing. It's super cool. And Sophia is very lucky to ride it. It is like amazing. And horses are just as amazing as that too. And why Sophia rides? Because it really helps her strengthen her muscles and to get them like keep on working and all that. Because she's usually sitting in a chair mostly all her life. Project Ride is a non-profit organization, and they only get their money 3 times a year from their main events. Should I this direction? Okay. In January, we have the crab feed. And usually sometime in like April or spring, we have the steak dinner. And October, we have the spaghetti feed, which is my personal favorite. It's delicious. Project Ride is always open to volunteers and donations. You can visit their website down below here. It would mean a lot to them, and it would mean a lot to me. My dream is to be on that board and help some more people like my sister. And I hope you visit their website and do some more donations and maybe volunteer if you might. You might volunteer, that would be a lot to them. And thank you for watching this. And all those pictures of the girl riding horses was me sister. And if you want me, of course. Yeah. All right, thanks. Bye. Say bye.
This is Jesse Baker School, where I've been helping since I was born. And this is the principal. Now let's talk to Karen Domingo.
How long have you worked in special ed for?
Working with special ed for about 17 years now. I was a para for about 15 years, and this is my second year teaching in special education.
Wow, that's a long time. What schools have you worked at?
I worked at 2 schools. I worked at Markofer, Florence Markofer Elementary for 5 years before I moved here to Jesse Baker.
Wow, that's
School.
nice to know that you used to work at my school. Do you like teaching special ed?
Yes, I do like teaching in special ed. Why? Because there's no single day is the same. So today might be different from yesterday. And as a teacher, it kind of gives you an opportunity to develop yourself professionally, keeps you thinking, keeps you on your toes all the time. The kids are amazing. I am very fortunate to work with amazing staff as well. And the humor that you get from the kids, that's basically why I love doing what I'm doing, because again, there's no dull moment and always keeps you thinking.
Next, let's go ask my mom some questions.
How long have you been working in special ed for?
I worked for 21 years in special education.
A long time that you worked in special ed. Was this a job that you wanted in college?
No, it was not. I did not think I would ever be a teacher, let alone be a teacher in special education. I wanted to be a sign language interpreter. That was my goal in college.
Wow, that's really cool how you're going to be a sign language interpreter. Do you like teaching special ed, and do you like teaching the youngest class?
I do love teaching special education, and I love teaching the youngest class even more. Back with the last question you asked me with if this was what I wanted to do in college, it was not, like I said, but it brought me to Jesse Baker School because I needed somewhere to volunteer with anybody who had hearing loss or deafness. So once I landed here to volunteer, I fell in love with all of the students here at Jesse Baker, and I stayed. And my heart has always been with the youngest group of children. I love being able to help make their quality of life better and to help them grow to the best that they can be.
Wow, that was nice to hear. What is it like teaching kids that can't talk?
It can be very challenging at times, especially when they do not have a way to communicate. Sometimes kids who are nonverbal can still gesture or motion or point and help you understand what they're wanting or what they're trying to tell you. But then there's also students who don't have that capability either, and they have, especially with the youngest group that I work with, sometimes they have not had a chance to try different types of communication devices or techniques. So it can be very, very challenging to try to figure out what they want and what they're trying to communicate.
Wow, that's really cool to hear. What is it like teaching kids that can't talk for you?
First, it's very challenging when you want to communicate with the student because that's their way of communication, so that you could understand what they want, so that you can ask them to do things for you, and then they will do something in return. Fortunately, we have this technology, the AAC device that we have been using for years now, that will allow those students to communicate by touching the technology or touching the iPad, so that they'll be able to express themselves, and then we will be able to understand them better. Without those technology, I would still think that it would still be challenging.
Let's go check out how the kids use the devices.
I'm tired. I want to open something.
Here you go. Thank you. Okay, Miss Caitlin, what do you want to do now?
I want iPad, please.
You want iPad?
Hooray. I want to jump.
Okay, let's go jump. Fun, fun, fun. Go, Caitlin, go. Good job.
Right here. January is the first month of the year. January is the first month of the year.
On here. What are you going to tell us?
Nathan.
Nathan. Are you Nathan?
Yes.
You are Nathan.
Yes, you are Nathan.
Yes, you are. Thank you for telling me.
Yes. Yes. Right here.
Are you Nathan? Look. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you are Nathan.
Yes, very good.
How long have I been helping in your class?
Almost your whole life. Starting as a baby, you came here often after school. So obviously you weren't helping when you were a baby, but you were here and hanging out and socializing as a toddler with many students here at Jessie Baker School. You would play recess with them, so you helped them in being a peer and a playmate in their classroom or at recess or at Baker Games, which is our own Special Olympics. And as you got older, you started helping out in the classroom during summer school, or if you had a minimum day, you would be able to come here and help out in the classroom, especially with free time and stations. You loved always playing, especially with toys and the kids when you were younger. And as you were older elementary student, you are amazing with helping the kids and also helping students communicate using these devices as well.
This is the girl that inspired me to do this video. Her name is Caitlin, and I got to be with her entire summer school. I was there when my mom started teaching her how to use the iPad. I also got to help her learn how to talk. It was the most rewarding experience of my life. I hope you can go to Jessie Baker someday so you can meet these amazing students.
Hi, my name is Ella, and you are watching a documentary about my family history in Utah.
called Ecker Hill. And Ecker Hill was internationally known for their ski jumping competitions.
And it opened a cafe called the Welcome Inn. It became internationally known as a place where they held many ski jumping tournaments and put Utah on the map as a great place to ski. That was in the early 1900s.
Out behind the Welcome Inn, a rope tow pulled the growing number of Utah skiers to the top of a gently sloping pasture. The rope tow ran from the late 20s until 1941. And after the war, Selma's husband Jim put up a small chairlift. But a couple of snow-short winters quickly took the Rasmussens and Kilbys out of the ski business.
So our last ski business for my husband and I was around 1948 and 49. Then they were getting it started. Otto Carpenter and Bob Burns had a rope tow in Park City. They went up there.
Burns and Carpenter had better luck.
Hi, I'm Ella's uncle, Keith, and I'm here to talk about our family history in Park City, Utah, with skiing. My great uncle started ski jumping back in the 1930s and 40s at a place called Ecker Hill Ski Jump, just outside of Park City. And my grandparents owned a little cafe called the Welcome Inn and a gas station. And people would drive from Salt Lake City up to Park City on the weekends to go skiing and ski jumping and have a hamburger at the Welcome Inn. Lots of fun. And our family history is real strong. My father, Ella's grandfather, was also a ski instructor in Park City and taught us how to ski as young kids. And Ella's mom has passed that on to her. Lots of history, many years of skiing in Park City. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.
Well, my wife played soccer growing up and she enjoyed it a lot, so we decided to get Lexi, my oldest daughter, into soccer to see how she liked it. We started her early. I think she was about 4.5 when she started, and she really liked it. She was able to contribute as a team player and an individual, and she still plays to this day. My son, Tyler, he pretty much grew up going to soccer games with the rest of the family to Lexi's games, and he pretty much wanted to follow in her footsteps, and he enjoys it to this day. As a matter of fact, he also plays on the same soccer club as Lexi.
My favorite thing about playing soccer is being able to build as a player and improve every year.
I like playing up front to score goals.
So I don't play a specific position because I can play multiple. But for high school, my coaches tend to put me as a center back because I'm pretty good at getting the ball away from people when they're in the last part of the half. And I'm also really aggressive, but not to the point where it could get us in trouble for a free kick. And then for my club team at Davis, I usually play midfield because I'm really good at connecting passes and helping to score and move the team up as well. I think the most challenging thing for soccer, personally, is having competition. A lot of people can be good at different things with no matter what sport you play, but I feel like with soccer, there's a lot of different aspects to being a good player, and having to go against certain people sometimes can be difficult, so it's good to be able to have different skill sets to be able to beat different people on the field.
I would say for my oldest, she's got an amazing kick. So she's had multiple goals scored from free kicks. She also scored one from a corner kick, was probably by far my favorite memory. And for my youngest, he is just driven to attack and score, and just excited to be out there and play. And it's fun to just see him so excited about playing soccer.
I like playing up front to score goals.
I think my most memorable moment from playing soccer was winning my state cup championship game. And it's a huge tournament that happens throughout the entire season of playing. But I think it was when I was about 9 or 10 maybe, and we had our last game that determined if we were going to win or not. We played this team from San Francisco, and they were really highly ranked, so it was going to be a difficult match. But even though it was a hard game and took overtime and PKs, we managed to get past that, and we ended up winning, and it was just a really great experience.
Hello, my name is Izzir Banta. My topic for this interview will be the importance of family. And now I will introduce you my family.
I am the youngest of the 10 children of my family.
And I'm the eldest daughter in the family.
I'm the second youngest in the family.
I'm the middle child in the family.
So I'm the youngest in the family.
And being the eldest, you will have a big responsibility. And one of them is taking care of your younger siblings.
I think the most memorable moment with my family when we went to San Francisco just to bond and enjoy our vacation.
My memorable moment of my family was my wedding day.
And for me, my memorable moment with my family when they came here into the United States, it's a dream come true for us.
I think the memorable moment for me is when I gave birth to my son Izzir.
The most fun as we do as a family is when we do small talk while eating together.
The fun thing to do with the family is when we go out of town.
I think spending time with Izzir and playing Call of Duty.
In your opinion, why is family important?
In my opinion, family is important during challenging times. People need a family they can count on.
Having a family, you will never feel lonely in this world.
For me, family is important simply because family is your true companion from the day you were born until the rest of your life.
I think family is important because no matter what's gonna happen, family is gonna be there for you and help you.
My parents had the biggest impact on my life. They taught me to always be responsible and respectful to other people.
Of course, for me, they're unconditional love and support.
Our family helped me grow better when I was young by giving a very good advices.
Our family make me a better person because of the support, the care, and love that they always give me.
I learned a lot from the family, especially when I was younger, like how struggle is and how to help out each other. So like we got each other back.
Hello again. Thank you for watching my family interview and about family importance. Remember, family is love. This is Izzir Banta, signing out.
Hello everyone, my name is Tom Mahony. I am Luke's dad, and today we're going to talk about how I fell in love with fishing and got Luke involved. I think the reason why I got into fishing primarily is because it was something that we could do outside. A family with 12 kids, so I was very rarely inside. I think I was home for dinner time and to sleep, and the rest of my life was out in the woods playing with my friends. And fishing was something that we could do outside, so that's why I really got into it. I really love fishing, probably for the same reasons now that I did when I was a kid, and that's because it's something you can do outside, and it's really relaxing. But also it's super exciting when you can catch that fish. So I really like the challenge of it, and now I'm really enjoying fishing even more because I get to do it with my son, Luke. I mostly fished as a kid in like streams, ponds, and then every once in a while we would go to the beach and I would surf fish. But then as I became adult, I would actually do fishing charters. And that's one of my favorite memories is when Luke and I, with the family, we went to Cabo in Mexico. And Luke's main goal was to catch a fish as big as him. And I think at that time he was probably around 10 years old. And so we went off into the Pacific Ocean and we caught mahi-mahi, which is a beautiful fish. And we caught our limit, and Luke caught a fish that was literally as big as him. It was about 45 pounds. It was so exciting. When it got to the edge of the boat, you had to use a gaff, which is a long hook, to kind of pull it onto the boat. It was a little bloody, but it was just so exciting. And mahi-mahi is tasty. So that evening, we had our fill.
Okay, so Liam, do you remember the first time I went fishing and how did I feel?
You were probably 4 years old, barely were running around, and we had this tiny fishing pole at the stocked pond at Apple Hills, probably this big. The fishing pole was still bigger than you at that time. And we ended up going in this pond filled to the brim with trout, but he didn't know. And he ended up catching 4 fish, so much, and the fish would almost pull him in every time. It was crazy. And there's like a crowd around him that all the people sitting around and they were cheering, and he pulled the fish in, and it was crazy. I think that's what really sparked his love for fishing. And in that moment, you just knew that he was gonna fish forever. And he was crazy. You could see him excited. We couldn't leave that pond.
Do you remember how my fishing experiences have grown throughout my life?
I know as you grew older and saw more fishermen, you always would ask what they were using, what they were catching. You couldn't pass by a fisherman and ask if they caught anything today. And when they would describe their fish, you would think it was the greatest thing ever. Every time we were camping, he'd wake up before the sun rose to go out and fish. As he grew older and learned a little bit more, he researched and got better at fishing. Researching what to buy. He'd go to stores with my dad, find the perfect tools and lures to use. And I know he'd go out with tons of friends and drag them to his fishing trips down the streets at all different ponds. And he would you can just see like his skills improve and his passion for fishing really improve.
My love for art definitely came at a point in my childhood when I was really young. So my grandmother taught me how to draw when I don't even think I was in kindergarten yet. And I was very busy, and I think she taught me partly just to get me to sit still for a little bit, because she babysat me a lot when I was young. But I still remember those drawings, and I remember sitting with her, and we were on the couch, and she had all the paper on the coffee table, and she started drawing these like illustrative fashion figures, and I was just in awe. Like, I didn't even know that people did this, that you could draw and make pictures from your imagination. I was just like so into it. And so I remember from that point I just took off and got really into drawing, and I would say I spent the majority of my childhood in my spare moments drawing. I would say I think my passion for art really evolved as I grew older and started to experience life. And when I was younger and I was drawing a lot, I was really into cartoons, and then I started discovering architecture, and then kind of jumped back into getting excited about animation. And then when I was a young teen, I started taking college classes, and that kind of connected me with more of like modern and fine art. And I think from that point on, I just got really hooked with learning new mediums like printmaking and photography. And I actually didn't study art in college. I mean, I did on the side. I was an anthropology major, but I think it connected with art really well. And so when I was in college, I had the opportunity to study with this incredible abstract painter named Mary O'Neill, and I took printmaking with her. And even though I did a lot of figurative work, portrait work, and even portrait work in photography, I really started to see abstract work as another way of telling a story. And that kind of eventually launched me into getting into quilting as I got older. Over the years, I've learned so much from my students. I started teaching right when I got out of college, and I was teaching in after-school programs and doing art projects with young children. And I think the way that it really informed my own practice as an artist is that I learned really how to be in the moment, and also to embrace the slip-ups or the mistakes in your work. I mean, I really think that art comes down to turning those mistakes into purpose. And I mean, I can even extend that into my own children. Watching them grow up, I can't say I taught them art or how to make art necessarily, but the tools were already there and in front of them and available. And I would say for my oldest in particular, she probably grew up going to more museums and art galleries than I would say her younger siblings. And they've all just gravitated towards it. And I think from them too, I've just watching them get inspired and seeing their imaginations come to life, I think for me has really taught me so much about my own work and where I want to go with it. And there's just something exciting about teaching. I mean, I'm that type of person that learns something new and I just immediately want to share it with other people. And so there's a lot of reward in that as well.
My mom has influenced my art in the sense that she has always been surrounding me in the art world, whether that be going to museums, showing me different artists, or just doing art around me generally. As a young kid, I wanted to definitely replicate her. And I remember I used to draw on cardboard pieces and just draw scribbles, and I thought it was amazing. And she was really, really supportive of everything that I created. So it just made me feel like this was something that I really enjoyed and something that I really wanted to continue with. She definitely influenced me to go to an art high school just to continue my studies and to to work on my foundational skills as a visual artist. And throughout that time period, so when I was in high school, I did a lot of extracurricular art projects. One of the projects was One Voice. It's a cultural exchange program that was focusing on the topics of visual art, performing arts, and ecology. And my mom really, really influenced me and was very supportive of me applying to the project, even though at some point, you know, I might have not felt so confident in my skills. She definitely was very supportive of my work and what I had to offer to the program. And so I was very thankful for that. I was able to get in, and it was an amazing, amazing opportunity. But she has always been supportive of anything that I do, especially when it comes to the visual arts, just because we connect so much together on our mutual love for the visual arts. So that's something I'm very thankful for.
In one blank statement, what do you truly hope to teach others through your art?
I really hope to teach others to express themselves and learn how to find their own voice through telling a story.
Black women, beautiful golden-skinned black women, my black women, my aunts, my cousins, my grandmothers, my mother. These are my black women. Within their paths, I see the paths I can take. They teach me with the switch in their walk. They teach me with the way that they talk. They teach me through the love that they give. They say they got me. They show they got me. We are tight-knit. My black women. I love my black women.
My name is Regina Briles, and I will have to ask you about the information you got on generations, because boomers were actually from 1946 to 1964. I am a baby boomer. I was born in 1948.
Okay. Well, my name is Jane Ellen Johnson. I go by Janie. I am a boomer. I was born in 1956.
Hello, I am Rhonda Briles-Kaneki, and I am a Gen Xer.
Hi, my name is Tia Lorraine Johnson. I am a Gen Xer. I was born in 1976.
I'm Jamila.
What's your birthday?
March 21st.
The year?
1979.
What's your name?
Simona.
When's your birthday?
Oh, 11/1.
What year?
81.
Hi, my name is Monique McKenzie, and I'm a millennial.
Okay. Hi, my name is Taylor. I'm Generation Z.
My name is Danae. I am Generation Z, born in 1998.
My name is Nia, and I am a part of Gen Z.
My name is Dania McKenzie, and I am a Gen Zer. The best. I mean, yeah, a Gen Zer.
definition of a woman to me basically is a mature adult female. And that could be very, very broad. But to boil it down to that, that's what a woman is.
Oh gosh, that is such a wide question, or an open question, I guess, because I really believe that every woman is unique. And there are so my definition can even change at times, I think. But I think the basic, my thoughts about what is the definition of a woman is the simple fact that you cannot define them. You cannot try and put them in a box, even though they've tried. People try. And woman that has a kind heart, who is compassionate, believes in herself. And I say believes in herself because, there are so many things that tend to want to tear us down, from each other to ourselves, trusting in your own self and understanding and learning and growing to know that you are beautiful and bold and you really can achieve what your mind can conceive, kind of thing. But basically, like I said, kind person, giving person, which women tend to be, very nurturing of their family and what have you. So compassionate, yet belief in oneself that they can do anything. And you really do have to kind of grow into some of that, because like I said, there's so many things from now the social media or what have you, but TV and all of that. I think I was under 11 and don't remember I kind of remember when we got our first TV. And so we really didn't sit in front of it a lot. We had a lot of interaction with our peers and could be outside. We've been running and doing. So being a woman, you really do or will kind of grow into your character. And your character is essential. A woman of integrity, honesty, again, compassion and kindness. And so.
I still say an mature adult female. And I was raised, again, that goes back to our baby boomer question. And I was raised to believe values and value relationships. We were taught that as an African American woman, we could do anything we wanted to do. And when I say anything we wanted to do, we were just as good as anyone else. And we had an opportunity to excel. We could have gone to school. We knew we could always become mothers. We could always become wives. But there were just family values and different things that I grew up with in terms of what a woman was. She was responsible. She was would be a caregiver. She would be a wife, love her husband, and her children, and take care of a house. And so those were some of the things and expectations that I grew up with. Although if she chose not to get married and not to have children, she would still be a mature, responsible, female adult.
Well, I think my mother was a little different. I don't know that I was raised in terms of my mother, because my mother was really my sole parent. My mother and father divorced when I left Arkansas when I was just a little over 11. And, I did everything with my mom, and a lot of what we did, like I said, between church and activities at the school. My mom believed in education, big time education. She wanted her children, because she didn't finish school. She was raised in the country. She was raised in a time, she was raised in 1926, where especially a Black woman, education, wasn't pushed necessarily. So my mother pushed education, but she was also a working mom. And so my sisters, from my sister Edna was the main one who kind of took care of me. And so I'm thinking it's more of what I saw around me, because I know when I got older and when I married and had a family, it's like you take care of your husband and wait on him almost. But my mom didn't raise me like that necessarily. So I think it was some of the environment around me that had me thinking, you grow up or whatever, you get married, and yes, school was a part of things. And somehow I got a little off track and didn't complete all of my schooling. That's another whole long story in terms of how I behaved in my marriage. I wasn't going by how I was raised. I wasn't doing the things in how I was raised until it got to be too much.
How old were you when you had your first child?
I was 18.
Was having a family of your own important to you when you were younger?
Yes, it was. Again, goes back to how I was raised, and having the children, the husband, then going through everything that we had. When I say everything that we had, the growth that we had, watching the children go to school, interacting with other people, with family, making sure that we were on top of the kids and instilling in them, again, the same values that were instilled in us. You are a person, you're a great person, you can do anything you want to do, and you can learn. We wanted to make sure that they learned, were able to go to school. And consequently, one of my siblings was a teacher. And of course, she, especially with my first child, Rhonda, my daughter, she had books. She always had educational stuff. She spent time and everything with her to make sure that that educational foundation was set for her. And we did the same thing for our son, Kamal, too. Maybe I shouldn't be mentioning their names.
No, it's okay.
Okay, yeah, the same thing. But we were very education-oriented, very community-oriented, sharing everything and different things, and expecting, giving everybody the benefit of the doubt without prejudices, if we could.
I have 3 children.
How old were you when you had your first one?
3 daughters. I was 21, I believe. Yeah, I think I was 21.
When you were young, did you think it was important to start a family, or was it just not really something you were worried about all that much?
Yeah, I wanted to start a family. I loved children. And at one time, I wanted this huge house full of children, not totally understanding what all of that meant, in terms of caring for them and providing for them. But no, I was ready to start my family.
I was a latchkey kid. I grew up in the generation that kind of straddles the millennia. So when I was born, there was no such thing as the World Wide Web. Although we did happen to grow up in a family that was high tech. I grew up in a time and an era being from Silicon Valley, where we actually had computers and everybody else didn't. And some people had computers that actually had telephones attached to the side of them, and they could speak to each other, but we didn't have the World Wide Web. My generation has seen everything. We've gone from phones with cords and no microwaves to carrying computers in our pockets. So my childhood was a little different. We got to play outside and it was expected. If you stayed inside too long, people thought you were weird. And now if kids play outside as long as we did, somebody calls the police and they end up with a helicopter searching for them. So it's just a different way of being.
And it depends. Are you saying my childhood as far as from toddler to teenage years, or are you asking just in general all the way until I became an adult? I would say probably from till about the 5th grade, it was pretty average that I know of. You know, my parents would argue and fuss a lot, but it's just what we dealt with. I had mom and dad in the home. Probably about, I'd say 5th grade, we moved back to my grandmother's house because my parents separated. So my childhood was okay until I started to notice the dysfunction, and then it became, there was turmoil. So it was okay until I became a young woman, and then realized that I had a parent that didn't respect women. So then it became toxic, I guess.
That's a good question. It was an experience. A lot of different type of times in my childhood, and some were sad and some were happy.
My childhood was fun. Spent mostly a lot of traveling. I played basketball, so a lot of moving around with tournaments and things like that.
My childhood was good. You know, I had a lot of fun, had a lot of laughs. I was surrounded by love, support. You know, I had my downs and I had my highs and I had my lows, but you know, I feel like I learned a lot of lessons in my childhood and my adolescence. You know, being a young kid, growing up in the Bay Area, and then moving to San Joaquin Valley, and how much of a culture shock that was, and just how different it was. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I had a good childhood. I did, you know, experience some traumatizing things. You know, I won't really get into detail, but, you know, just some, like I said, just some lows, you know, that I was able to grow from and learn from. But I always had a support system. So yeah, I always had a support system that I could lean on and go to for guidance and protection and love no matter what.
It was really fun. I loved to play outside, and also loved to play video games on like the Game Boy, Nintendo DS, and stuff like that. So it was definitely the best of both worlds in that way.
My childhood was pretty cool. Growing up in the 2000s was fun. I had great shows, great entertainment. It was like the last sort of period where you weren't like handed a phone or an iPad by like age 2. Like we still played outside and stuff, and like had moments to be bored and like stare at the rain and think about things as a kid and ponder life as a kid. So that was really cool. Yeah, I had a good childhood. I have an older sister who I'm really close with, and my mom, I was raised by a single mom, and she like gave me the world, which I'm really thankful for. Yeah.
My childhood was loud. it was always my favorite when my mom would have like get-togethers with family or with her friends at the house, or when I would go outside and play with my friends. But at the same time, it was also kind of lonely. I remember just being in my room playing with my toys, or sitting in our living room playing online video games, and, you know, just using my imagination to run wild. I always remember my mama being there. I remember her cooking. I remember baking with her, or for her, because she's not much of a baker. My childhood, I miss it. And I'm young, but I miss being a little kid, and I miss being able to go to daycare after school, and then my mama picking me up. My childhood. I don't know. I guess that explains it.
Okay, so talking about values, it's kind of funny because those same values are being really twisted and manipulated today. But the basic values were respect for family first, and you respected your elders. And then you respected, like, when I say elders, it was like all the elders in your neighborhood, your teachers, your coaches, all the elders in your church. And then after respecting elders, then you respected each other. And in that respect, there was a lot of, like, the way that people will get on social media and just say really vile and horrid things, that would kind of not happen, because that would be disrespectful to another person. And yeah, family was the biggest value. Integrity, strength, and courage. And courage didn't necessarily mean that, you know, you put on a cape and jumped off buildings. Courage meant that maybe you use your voice to speak up for yourself or someone else who was being maligned, or who was not benefiting from what generally everyone in the society benefited from. So integrity was super, super huge as I was growing up. Like, you did the right thing because it was the right thing to do, not like it was for personal gain, or not because you thought that someone else would look upon you differently. You just did it because it was the right thing. So those are some of the core values.
Always take care of my sisters. Those were my, you know, my family first. And when I say family, I mean my sisters, Mila, Mona. Be honest, loyalty, but mainly it's you and your sisters against the world.
To be like a hard worker and always like stick up for my sisters, and and to tell the truth. Wow, a lot of different, a lot of different family values. Sticking together as a family, always being there for each other as a unit, especially me and my sisters. We were taught that, and that's how we always were. Those are just a few of them.
Never give up. Family, teamwork, resilience, to say the least.
I would say is independence. I was raised by a single dad. My mom had passed away when I was really young from breast cancer. So my dad raised me to be an independent woman, to not have to depend on anybody, a man or otherwise, and just getting my own. I was already pretty independent, wanting to do things by myself. And as I got older, it just built up. And so it's to the point where I don't want to ask anybody to do anything for me. I want to do it on my own. And sometimes that can be my downfall. You know, I want to do things for myself. Even if I don't know how to do it, I just want to do it just to say I did it and I tried. And then I'll ask for help. But I've gotten a lot better with asking for help. But anyway, self-love and self-worth. So that just means, you know, just, you know, loving myself. Again, I had a single dad. You know, he taught me, you know, to love myself. Always telling me I was beautiful, how pretty I was, you know, giving me positive encouragement and motivation to just be myself. You know, always telling me, even now, I'm 23 years old, he tells me, you know, I love when you have your natural face and you wear your natural hair and stuff like that. He loves when I wear a dress though, or, you know, foot lock, stuff like that. But, you know, he just loves my natural face, my natural everything, which I really appreciate because it ultimately taught me how to love myself and how to love my natural beauty just the way it is right now. And, you know, for a long time, you know, I didn't know how to do makeup. I didn't learn how to do makeup until I got to college because when I was in high school, like my first 2 years, my dad didn't want me wearing makeup. So I was like, whatever. And even when I was going to school, I graduated in 2016. You know, you could wear a full face or you didn't. You can get away with just wearing your natural face or wearing mascara and some lip gloss and calling it a day. Like wearing makeup all the time, being your face wasn't like really a trend. So yeah, so that just ultimately, like I said, taught me to love myself how I naturally was. And then when I learned how to do makeup, I could enhance my natural beauty. So I really appreciate my dad for that.
And growing up, I was really taught to work hard for the things that you want for yourself and not expect others to do all the work, and definitely to be kind to people that you meet. You never know what others are dealing with and going through.
I was instilled with definitely like valuing unconditional love, loyalty, honesty was a big one, because I would tell little white lies and fibs pretty often to like my mom or whatever, and she definitely instilled in me like the importance of being honest and just like truthful and genuine with like everything I do, just like in my lifestyle, not just like literally not lying or whatever. So that was a big one. Definitely like empathy, treating people with kindness, whether I know them or not, whether I like them or not, whether I'm close with them or not. Those were really important values that like were instilled in me pretty young.
Always told me to be a leader and not a follower, to never let anything really get past me. If I don't like it, to make it known that I don't like it. Speak my mind at all times. I would say to be respectful, but those kind of contradict each other, but be respectful. To know that I'm beautiful and to love myself. And whatever I want to do, as long as I'm happy, she'll be proud of me. So my definition of success, because of everything that my mom instilled in me, is just to be happy.
Inspiration is kind of a tough word for me. I guess who I was inspired by, like I wasn't the type of person that, I'm weird. I didn't see people and go, oh, I want to be that person. I was not that person. I was more of, I would like to have these things or have this way. And so I'm just going to look toward people who are that way of being or have those things. And so if I were to just pick people out, personal people in my life was my grandmother, your great grandmother, who you did not meet, And she was kind of amazing. And if you look at all of the women in our family, we all like do something. Like you come from a family where I don't think there's any woman in our family that's not part of some organization or part of some team outside of our, our immediate family. We are doing something, whether it's volunteering for the bake sale or like me, I have, I'm on several boards and I have a business and a couple other things. So the people that inspired me when I was younger, especially around your age, were people, especially women who were going out and getting that done. And so it was like, I'd look up and I'm going to date myself. And look up and I'd see people like Angela Davis. And if you don't know who she is, ask the lady at Google. She actually teaches at a university close to you. She was a very strong woman who was an educator, but was also a civil rights and women's rights activist. But then I'm also inspired by, artists like Basquiat. And I'm weird. I really, really am a huge Van Gogh fan. And knowing that I'm a therapist, Van Gogh had some issues. And I'm like, this is a person who was inspired me by continuing to create his art. Who else inspired me when I was your age? Music was a huge thing for me. So a lot of the musicians at the time, and so that would, when I say at the time, that'd be back in the 80s and 90s. And that's about all I can think of just off the cuff.
Honestly, I think a normal answer is like your mom or your dad, because they came before you. But I would honestly say that my inspiration is my daughter, Dania, because I see that she pushes regardless of, sometimes she gets tired, she gets frustrated, she gets attitudes, but she wants to be the best at everything. And I so wish that I was that kid.
I want to say my mom was when I was younger, just because she had a lot to deal with and raising like 3 girls as best as she knew how. I thought that was amazing. I really did.
I would say my sisters are more so an inspiration to me over everything. Yeah.
Inspired, past tense, maybe my brother. Currently, like my nieces and nephews.
And then I would say that 2 of my inspirations are my grandmothers. They really instilled my love of reading, and I still love to read. I love to reread old books all the time, and I love getting a new book.
I think I inspire myself. I think I'm my inspiration, to be honest. Like, I seek out things that like make me tick and like get me excited and everything. There's not really one singular thing that does that, but if I had to pick something, definitely just like my people in my community where I'm from. Growing up in the Bay is like such a cultural melting pot, and just like so easy to like meet people from all over the world with all types of different experiences. And I was like really blessed with that experience throughout my life to just like meet people from all backgrounds. So like the diversity where I'm from definitely inspires me. But my people, as in like Black people, inspire me all the time so much, because I think our stories need to be told and are important. And as like a storyteller, as somebody who like is pursuing storytelling in my career, like that, my people and their experiences and their lives and everything really inspires me.
My inspiration. I am inspired by being happy myself and making my mom proud. Those are the things that keep me moving. Those are the things that make me want to work harder. Just to know that one day I'm going to be successful and I'm going to be happy, and my mom can look back and know that everything that she's gone through and everything that she's done was not in vain, because my legacy is something that is bright.
isn't one thing I would tell my younger self. There are many things. And I often ask people when there's a question like this, you know, if I were to ask you, which would you choose, chocolate or vanilla? Generally, people will go with what they consider their favorite, and they say chocolate or vanilla. And I'm the person that's like both. But the question was or, but I choose both. And so in asking what would I tell my younger self, the first thing I would tell my younger self, you're gonna crack up, keep dancing. For many, many, many reasons, but always dance. And the next thing would be, don't doubt yourself, because you generally are the person in the room who actually knows what's going on. And in some situations, you're the smartest person in the room. And always, always go with your gut. We're given that gut feeling for a reason. And oftentimes we choose not to go with our gut because of all the programming we get that, well, you can't be the person who's right. And your gut instinct, blah, blah, blah. Go with your gut.
Pack your bags and go to college. All the other stuff is secondary. Get your education, go to college, live your life, and everything else will be there when you come back.
Love yourself and live your life.
Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused on what's important. Handle your business.
Keep going, never give up.
That's a hard one because I feel like I would tell my younger self at different stages different things. Like if I was talking to like kid me, I would just like tell them like continue to be curious and explore and never stop exploring and being curious and asking questions and thinking critically. Middle school me, I would probably tell her like you're beautiful and awesome and have so many good things ahead and everything. Younger high school me, I would probably say focus on like what's important. Don't get caught up in like the trivial stuff, like what other people think about you or what other people have going on in general. Like focus on you and what you want to do, what you're interested in, what you're passionate about, and like put your all into that.
Little me. I would tell her so much. I would tell her that it's okay to be loud. It's okay to be yourself. You don't have to fit into everyone else's norms. It's okay to know that you're beautiful. It's okay to stand tall. It's okay to be different. I would tell her that she's amazing. She's amazing just the way that she is, and that there is no reason to change yourself for anyone or for any reason.
Well, there you have it. A little insight on what I cherish most. The women in my family, the women who inspire me, the women who I look up to, the glorious, glorious women in my family. And no, that's not all of them, but it is a good amount of them. And before I roll the credits, this is just a little thank you and appreciation to them. So thank you guys for allowing me to interview you, whether that was on Zoom, in person, or I sent you the questions and you recorded them on your phone. Thank you so much for allowing me to see inside of your head for just a little second. And most of all, thank you for allowing me to put you in this video. It was a lot of difficulties at times where our schedules were clashing, but at the end of the day, we figured it all out, and now look at us. We've got this amazing video, not to my own horn, but we have this amazing video, and I love it, and I love you guys. So thank you. I'm Dania McKenzie, and this was a video about my women.
You think I should get grilled?